Here we go.
Oh, let's go.
I think we should do this.
Let's do the show. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the DNVR Nuggets Podcast. We are live from the studio here on a Tuesday. Great show coming up. I'm excited to get to all of it. Let me introduce the panel. I'm Harrison Wynn, joined by D-Line.
That's right, guys. I'm ready to talk about ownership. I'm ready to talk family tree. I'm ready to talk what it's like during the holidays. What are these conversations? Who are these people? Let's find out.
We got a lot to get into today. We're going to talk, Nuggets ownership, Broncos ownership. There's a lot of things going around and going along in town here. We need to get to the bottom of it.
Oh boy, do we.
Brendan Vogt's also here.
What's up, guys? I'm considering a move I've never tried before.
Raising this. Oh, dude, tallest at the table.
Turns out I was never short.
We got super producer Kale on the ones and twos today. A lot to get to on today's show. Let's start with our top story, though. Christian Braun in the lab.
Whoa.
Christian Braun
in the lab.
In the lab. Went back to Browntown. He's in the lab. This video I saw this morning.
Well, hold on. Where's the skyline of New York painted on the side?
Not in that gym.
What the hell?
D-line.
No, this is a workman-like gym, right?
Yeah,
hell,
this is a real hooper gym.
Is he trying to get
Lunch
better or
pail,
not?
hard hat. Yeah, let's
Getting
go.
up shots.
Okay, let's view. Does he look any different?
Can we zoom in at all? It's kind of tough to see. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean,
There we go.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, Kale, enhance the footage.
Step back
I mean, he still has that like kind of staggered
off the dribble here.
base that he fires off from 1 foot forward.
I would wager a guess. Christian Braun is very aware that the three-point shooting is a swing skill.
Oh yeah,
here
for sure.
coming up this season.
Interesting.
I wonder how much more on average, just from even 10 years ago, the NBA offseason shot diet has changed. You know what I mean? Wouldn't you spend almost all your time
In terms of just amount of shots you get up in an off season?
rather amount of threes, to be clear. Don't you just think like, wouldn't that be most what you do now if you're a role player? Like, let me make sure my 3-point shot is sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like much more the focus of the NBA. It is interesting. It is weird though. Like, you just think about Kobe Bryant. Like, I'm up at 6 a.m. and I shoot 4,000 shots every single day. Like, I wonder how many NBA players like really have that kind of. Like, do they treat it like a work day? Are they just like go to the gym later?
Most
whatever?
of the very best really do. And that's kind of like, that's the confluence you're trying to hit. Some guys are here because they do work that hard. Some guys are here because they're that talented. And then the Kobes, the LeBrons, Tom Brady to switch a sport, like they just do work as hard as you would have to work to be that good.
Yeah. I have never thought about Jonathan Kuminga as like an actual play. I just think of him as like a guy. Mm-hmm. Obviously, he's like the centerpiece of the Warriors.
He's holding
entire
every single move up
Yeah.
right now. Nothing's happening.
But I saw a vlog. I don't remember what I saw, but it was really just kind of breaking down what his days look like and how he reports to the gym every morning like a job. And he has this routine he goes through. And actually, by the end of it, I was like, do we need to get Jonathan Kuminga? Is he
as we know from yesterday's show, you're very impressionable.
yeah.
Right.
Targeted ads work on you very well.
If I see
Right.
one vlog, if I see one football being tossed, it's the year
you're
of that guy.
influenced very easily.
You know what I love about
it worked
that?
on you.
Is it's that easy to sell someone. It's that easy to tell that lie that you're in the gym, and DeAndre Ayton just still won't do it.
But I do think, to your point, more guys treat it like that than you would think.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I think more NBA players actually grind their asses off.
Yeah.
Like, I really think that is something that's kind of changed over I'd say maybe the last 10 years. You go back to the 2000s, I don't think that was as much the case as it is today. I think everybody, like, to be in the league and to stay in the league, especially if you're in that role player category, especially with how this new CBA is going. If you're a guy at that level, you have to have that work ethic kind of, or else you're not going to stick.
And it's a transition.
You're going to be playing for a pen at the knockout soon.
Dude, exactly. It's a sliding doors kind of transition moment in a lot of young players' careers. Now, I think there are certain types of players that just know this already and bring that attitude with them to the league. But you'll hear a lot of guys talking about their vets that kind of have to explain to them. A lot of stuff is going to be available to you here. You have to find a way to make this a job and keep this a job. Or it'll be a sort of flash in the pan career. And surviving is a skill. And a lot of guys have really honed that skill because they want to play basketball, man.
It is weird though. Like, you think of, the off season comes, it's like, oh God, these guys need to get some time off, get time away. But it's like, it's them and teachers are the only people that have like a time that people will be like, hey, well, they're not working. It's the off season. It's like that. What are you talking about? They should work their business is their body.
To work more. Yeah.
Hey, man.
Right. I think that's what I'm getting at. These lazy teachers.
That's a good campaign slogan. What are you running for these
Shout
days?
out to the teachers.
Shout out to the teachers. Yeah, absolutely. But what you're kind of talking about is like how the routines of a player a lot of times will evolve based on their maturity, how much they understand, how serious they are, and also just how like gifted they are, like how much they can get away with doing less. Which is why I don't believe in skinny Luka. I don't for a second believe he's going to hold on to eating this insane restrictive diet.
Like, you didn't read the Health Magazine article?
That's the point, is that it's so different from how he has led his life up to this point. I'm like, there's no way that's hanging.
No, with one exception. He will do this for Team Slovenia.
Right. But then after Team Slovenia, it's like, well, you know.
If I could just say this about Christian Braun from that video, kind of hard to tell what his shot looks like. It looks about the same. But the things I would be watching for if you're watching videos of Christian Braun shoot are how quick is his release, and is he trying to cut out a little of that dip in his shot?
Yeah.
I mean, he's got some of that natural dip on the catch and shoots. Maybe it seems like in that video he's trying to cut that out. That's what it seems like to me. But those are two things that I feel like could take him from. He shot 40% from three last year, even though it doesn't feel like it.
I cannot believe that. There's nobody that I'm more constantly floored by their 3-point shooting percentages than Christian Braun and Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah.
I'm like, Mike hasn't hit a shot in a month. And Vogt's like, he's shooting 70%.
But at least Michael Porter, you regard as a guy that you think the ball's going in when he shoots.
Yeah.
Christian Braun, to me, is still a guy that I'm not 100% like, I don't think it's necessarily going in when he shoots.
Defenses aren't either.
Exactly. That's the difference.
So, and look, we've talked about this before on the show. It's not just Christian. I mean, I even think a guy like Paul Millsap is a good example. There's a difference between shooting 40% in the regular season as a role player on average volume and a guy that scares a half-court defense in the playoffs. And that's just, I often think that's, but beyond the sort of mental metal kind of 16-win player stuff, it's really that. Just there's layers and levels to the shooting game, and it's really beyond looking at percentages and volume.
Yeah. He shot 39.7% from three last year. That went down to 29.6% in the playoffs on way more attempts per game. 5 attempts per game in the playoffs, 2.8 per game in the regular season.
Interesting.
And I mean, that's a result of, all right, we're just going to triple team Yoke, and he's going to be wide open. He's got to take that shot. But I still think there's a step for him to climb as a shooter. And I think that can definitely happen this season.
I think it has to. Honestly, I think it has to. Like, the league is a learn from league. Everybody sort of finds out what works against Jokic, or what when things are successful, people model, it's a copycat league. It's a copycat league. They say in every league, it's all a copycat league. But point being is like, the book is kind of out on how you can slow down the Nuggets, and it's not that surprising. It's that you just glom on to Nikola Jokic and make the other guys beat you.
Which by the way, they did to the Wolves as well, which leans into a lot of the stuff Rick Carlisle kind of spoke on, I think, indirectly on Caitlin Cooper's podcast. I don't know if that was today or yesterday, and Kevin O'Connor, I think, echoed this. we've talked about this all summer. It's not the same as who are our 3 best players and can they outshine your 3 best players anymore. You know, you just have to be able to have 10 guys that are really good together, or some combination of 10 guys. And if you're really lucky, you have multiple, you know, right. and defenses can't just say, no matter how good your regular season was, we're going to stop one guy and dare you to figure it out. You know, teams in the East weren't able to do that against Indiana. And teams in the West weren't able to do it against OKC either. As great as SGA was, those swing games were won, you know, by Lou Dort and Alex Caruso, which is common. But it's depth, to put it simply. It's depth. And clearly Denver seems to have picked up on this. Their offseason reflects it.
Mm-hmm. Our other top story today, we didn't even get to this on Monday's show. This happened over the weekend. Luka Doncic signed his extension
this
with
was such a bummer.
The Los Angeles Lakers. It's a 3-year deal. It's really just a 2-year deal with a player option year 3. That will be declined.
See, that you know, not all hope is lost.
But I mean, he did just do that so he can re-up when he's at
of course
that mark when his contract can go up.
But what if these 2 years go so terribly, Harrison?
That is on the table.
You know, someone comes in through the side door.
Yeah,
I love that this is the beginning, even though it started last year. They're just like, that was just.
Well, if you go to the Dallas Mavericks facility, they've wiped clean all the Luka Doncic photos and evidence that he was ever there.
I put together a mural for the Dallas office, and it, of course, featured prominently Luka staring at Devin Booker in the face. And then, like, shortly thereafter, I was like, oh, man, like, do I have to fix this? Do I go to replace this?
You don't want to fix that. You want to leave it. That's an iconic photo.
I didn't leave it. I did leave it, excuse me. But yeah, what the heck, dude? I just got to say, man, I was really hoping that Luka was going to leave them on red for an entire season and just have it tear that organization apart with the rumors and Stephen A. Smith and everybody talking about what's going to happen and blah, 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 blah. And now we didn't get any of that. What a bummer.
Yeah. The most interesting angle of this to me is the LeBron angle, because I don't know if you guys saw, there were a bunch of teammates at that Luka press conference. It was a real cast of characters. It was like Gabe Vincent, Rui Hachimura, Jackson Hayes, all here to support Luka. Of course, LeBron was not there. And then it was like a day later, LeBron posts a picture of himself working out at the old Clippers training facility. I don't know if you saw that. Very interesting.
Isn't that just in Staples or whatever it's called? Krypton?
It means he was in the area and sure could have been there. And also he does this a lot.
I mean, that is very purposeful. Like, I'm going to post this photo with this Clippers logo right behind me.
Yeah. And he's worked out there before, but to do that a day after everyone stirred up because you weren't seen somewhere, it's classic LeBron James.
It really is. There's not a single thing about LeBron James that is not choreographed. There's no just like, oh, I didn't even notice. It's like he put like what let's put tinfoil hats on. What is the message of him working out in front of the Clippers logo?
It's obviously sending a message to the Lakers. For the first time, I think, in his career, LeBron is not exactly in control of his situation. Luka is the face of the franchise. The Lakers are making that very clear. It seems like to me the Lakers are even trying to usher LeBron out the door a little bit.
They should.
That seems to be what the play is. It's going to be up to LeBron what he wants to do, but it seems like to me they're trying to kind of move on from him.
So everybody was really kind of taken aback and aghast by LeBron James signing that, accepting that $50 million player option that he took. And they're like, you know, he doesn't want to win. Blah, blah. What does he need with $50 million? I'm sure it was just to basically secure his own agency so that he can't really be traded. I mean, like, how are you going to trade a $50 million contract?
You could trade him.
You could, but I'm just saying it's like not as easy as, it does give him some control over the situation in that like his number is so big.
Yeah.
Wild.
It's just something that's interesting. I mean, that clearly seems like a situation where there's some tension.
I mean, when it happened, there were a million different valid positions someone could just immediately hold online about that trade. And there were a lot of kind of jokes about, LeBron didn't know. Maybe
wasn't that the first story that came out?
Yeah.
LeBron didn't know about it.
Now, that is still hard to believe, but as much as we all laughed at that stuff, there was always this element of late stage LeBron was just going to be holding the Lakers hostage.
Yes.
In a certain sense. And
in the money sense.
And just as long as I'm here, I'm your best direction to go as a franchise, and you know it. But also, we both know I'm only going to get worse every year. When they make the Luka trade, whether LeBron loved it or not at the time, it really did open up the doors for not really caring what LeBron thinks, because you have Luka. And that was just sort of not an option as far as an organizational approach for the Lakers, and it is now. And watching LeBron, who honestly, frankly, is maybe the weirdest athlete of all time about this kind of stuff. You know, for a guy of his stature to just constantly be sending subliminal messages, this is going to get weird almost certainly if it hasn't already.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's hit a break. On the other side, we're going to talk ownership and executive vice presidents.
Whoa.
Nuggets, Broncos, how do they intersect? How do they intertwine with one another?
Do they have good genes in a non-controversial?
And I'm wondering if the Nuggets ownership is paying any attention to what the Broncos are doing right now.
Oh, boy.
We're going to talk about that.
You know, it's a really simple situation.
What's that?
When you want a beer, but you don't want it to feel too heavy, but you do want it to be refreshing, but it still needs to be light.
Sure.
You really want it to pair good with some delicious barbecue on a summer day. There's an answer. There's an easy answer. All of these signs are pointing you to a bright neon sign that's been on since 1975. It says Miller Lite, baby. The go-to beer to fill up the cooler when it's a good day to grill. Stock up today for grill season ahead, or whatever kind of season summer is for you. I have seen the new kind of hacky sack deal is the tightrope walkers. Have you seen them in the
Slackline?
Slackline?
Yeah. Where would you buy a slackline? I'm just curious.
Don't know, but I know where you'd get a Miller if you wanted to go hang out with your friends in the park and do some slack. Not the work app, the tightrope, but you get Miller Lite where you've seen this. You know the deal. If you're over 21 years old, they're anywhere that you can get beer. So again, Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/DNVR to find delivery options near you. Or again, you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere that they sell beer. Cheers to 50 years of Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories, 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Are you heading out on your next summer road trip? Order at RaisinCanes.com or on the Canes mobile app to satisfy your chicken finger fix in a snap.
Okay, go get me some everything but the coleslaw. No offense, Canes.
At Raising Cane's, every chicken finger is hand battered, cooked to order. Every crinkle cut fry is crispy and perfectly salted. Every piece of Texas toast buttered to perfection. And every cane sauce is made in restaurant each day, ready to be dipped in. Are you hungry yet?
Yes.
Yeah, definitely am. Get your order today at Cane's and keep the road trip going. Raising Cane's, chicken fingers, one love.
Where is the
Every
nearest
time
Cane's?
I read this read, I
get hungry too. I think it's because you and I don't eat before the show.
Yeah, should we do that conversation again? Again,
the
usual for me.
I felt like I needed protein, so I stayed away from the lemon loaf.
Maybe I should start hitting Raising Cane's on the way to the office.
Yeah, dude. Maybe we should just get our lives back in order.
Raising Cane's, chicken fingers, one love.
One love, dude. What a
Back
great
here
story.
on the DNVR Nuggets podcast, Harrison Wynn, Brendan Vogt, D-Line Co. in the house today on this Tuesday. Let's get to the headline of today's show. So let's talk ownership. If you don't know what's been going on with the Broncos, the last couple years, and all of this relates to Nuggets in a big way, and we'll kind of tie, all the loose ends together here. But when did this new ownership come in with the Broncos?
I think 3 years ago.
3 years ago?
3 or 4 years ago.
4 years ago. Backed by Walmart money.
Yeah.
And what they've done pretty much is come in and spend a lot of money on the Broncos.
Yeah, the situation of the Broncos mirrors what I think the Los Angeles Lakers are about to look like, where they had a long-standing family entrenched, and the patriarch of the family, which was Pat Bolin, passed on. Same with Jerry Buss. And then it was left to the siblings to sort of fight it out amongst one another. And it really put the Broncos in a terrible position for many years because there was no true decision maker. And then a big, deep-pocketed organization came along and then bought the Broncos, which is what has happened with the Los Angeles Lakers.
And they've, in just 4 years or 3 years, have poured a ton of money into the Broncos and will be pouring a ton of money into them. They're building almost a $200 million practice facility.
Oh, yeah.
That's completely privately funded by them. That's going to be done before next season. They've already done $100 million worth of renovations to the actual stadium. They put in new grass, when a lot of other ownerships don't do that.
It wasn't that they put in new grass. They redid the field before the last game of the season.
Yeah.
With the price being $300,000 just for one game, a meaningless game. The Broncos weren't even going anywhere. It wasn't last season; it was the season prior. But like they just signaled that truly, outside of the salary cap, which is the one thing that does hamstring them, there is no amount of money that will dissuade this ownership group from providing the Broncos with what they need. The hilarious thing is to look at that practice facility. They have 3 football fields. The Nuggets,
fields.
The Nuggets have 1 basketball court.
Not to mention the field house, which has 2 more fields in it.
Kill, don't rub it in.
They have a total of 5 fields to practice on. The Nuggets have 1 that I think they have to split time with, maybe like a little league team or
Cheerleaders?
something. Yeah, it's the AAU squad.
So they are the richest owners in the NFL, and they're showing it. The Russell Wilson trade was awful, but they traded for him and immediately gave him a $250 million extension,
Yes.
$165 million guaranteed. They hired Sean Payton, who's the second highest paid coach in the league. They're paying him $18 million a year.
Right.
$18 million for Sean Payton. Right. And it seems like it's probably worth it. And the question is, and what I've been wondering is, these families are interwound and they're intertwined, and we'll get to that in a second. But the thing I'm wondering is, are the Kroenkes seeing this at all?
Yes.
And thinking, damn, we don't look great not spending the type of money they're spending on the Broncos?
I mean, if not publicly, like they definitely, like if they go to like a family function and it's like your brother's doing better than you, you're like, oh man,
Broke boys?
yeah, the broke boy. Like, should we break down the actual genealogy
Let's
of
go
how
to the
these
family tree.
how these families
Let's
are
go to the
intertwined?
family tree, Kelp.
How these families are actually intertwined with one another.
Oh my God, you have a family tree?
Yeah, we built it. So
I thought that was a joke.
Sam Walton is the founder of Walmart. That's Walton. That's how you get from that to the other.
So Sam, I looked all this up. Sam and James co-founded Walmart. James unfortunately died in 1995.
Unfortunately.
So, it's just so Sam has been running it since then.
Okay.
But now Rob is basically in charge of the Walmart Foundation.
Right.
He sort of oversees his other siblings.
And Rob Walton is the Broncos owner in name, but doesn't really have anything to do with, the day-to-day operations. But he's got
heir.
the money behind it.
He's the heir to the Walmart throne, Rob
Yeah.
Walton.
Yes. But it is his daughter, Carrie Walton Penner, who married Greg Penner to create the Walton Penner name.
Mm-hmm.
And it really is Greg Penner that is the guy that is.
What a lucky guy, man.
Well, it's both of these guys. The Kroenkes and the Penners have married into the Waltons. Like,
Where do the Penners come from? What industry are the Penners in?
I don't know, but we looked this up. Like, okay, so Stan Kroenke married James Bud Walton's daughter, Ann Walton, and turned her into Ann Walton Kroenke. Stan Kroenke made his money through real estate ventures. He basically had successful real estate ventures and then had whole essentially what would you call that? Not like a mini mall, but like a development area that were anchored by Walmarts.
Yeah,
and he would build
strip
out
malls.
he would build out the rest of the
Yeah.
development. And that was where most of his money came from. He also has a lot of real estate and he owns just property in general. So those two wed. So he married into the Walton family.
That actually, at least according to a very very quick Google research, the Penner family's wealth is primarily derived of having married into the Walmart fortune. And of course, we know the Kroenkes, their half of the empire now is essentially real estate based, and that is reflected in their very ambitious and grandiose plans to essentially change the city of Denver, which again should potentially include a practice facility.
Right. But these people are talking to each other. They are.
You think they are?
How could they not be? I mean, they are truly one family.
They're first cousins.
First cousins, yes. So they are.
I mean, I'm not talking to my cousins that much.
Yeah.
No, but like you're also like
I
not.
work with my cousin every day.
Well,
he manages the bar.
Listen, as a
But
guy,
don't you feel like if your cousin was also in sports media, you might have a conversation every now and again?
Yeah.
In the same country.
Yeah, my cousin
but-
definitely not in sports media.
Wind watched Succession very closely, so the wheels of skepticism are grinding here as he thinks about the family dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think you're right. The fact that they are in the same industry and that they are in quote unquote ownership, I would think they do have a somewhat of a decent relationship. They do talk about these things. But it is a pretty big, like a pretty lopsided scale. It feels like the Broncos are pushing all this money into the team. Practice facility. They're going to build a new stadium.
Yes.
And they're going to build it down. It's going to be a massive project.
Oh, it'll be a $5 billion project.
Billions and billions of dollars.
This is the land they bought, so it's just down the street. You can actually see Ball Arena
Yeah,
in the
if
background.
Yes, like that area. It's funny because it's bizarre that it's never really been developed. It's train yards, but there's just a huge area that you have to drive over an elevated, I guess, roadway. It's not really a highway.
The traffic's going to be insane there.
Well, they'll be, the point being is they'll be able to build out infrastructure to support it. Like they'll actually be able to do things so that it's not just wedged in and it's not an afterthought. But it is so close to downtown that you think like how crazy that there's this much undeveloped land this close. This is not that dissimilar from what the Rockies did with lower downtown.
Yeah. I would hope it puts a little pressure on the Nuggets to. It doesn't seem like it's going to speed up the plans for
So here's the difference.
upgrading anything with the arena, the practice facility, that whole conversation, but I don't know.
Here are the differences. So the Penner, the Walton Penner family.
Yeah.
The only thing they have to focus on, I think, outside of just being a member of the Walton family, is the Broncos. Like they don't have
That's his job.
a billion other. I mean, I don't know this to be true. I don't know what other ventures he's involved in, but they certainly don't have other sports teams that they're involved in. The Kroenkes obviously have like 5 or 6 different sports properties sprinkled across, the entire country and abroad over in England. And so their attention is naturally splintered. But the thing that's annoying is that the Kroenkes have such grandiose plans that even the things that feel like they need to happen now, there's plans for them happening, but they're such a part of such a large civic undertaking
I know.
that it's like, bro, is the practice facility, is that like 10 years? Like,
Right. It's not a part of the
At
Jokic
the
era.
minimum.
It's
it
not a part of the
feels
Jokic era. Yeah.
their plans are to pretty much build a new downtown Denver.
Yes.
But-
To close, to remove Elitch Gardens.
Yeah.
By the way, some of these plans sound wonderful for the city of Denver, but the practice facility, I don't really know. By the way, politically, that was a wild statement. I don't know. Just on the
Oh, it does. It sounds great.
It's just on the surface level, it sounds like great additions to the city. And it's just, this is going to take forever. And the practice facility is not an immediate part of
We're
the
talking about now.
We're talking about now.
But the
And
other
a
thing
basketball
that I feel like is so prescient with all of this conversation is that you really feel immediately like it really feels like the Broncos are being
that's a good
reshaped and reformed right before our eyes with just the addition of a boatload of cash.
Yeah.
Like they're just buying their way back into relevance. Like the Broncos were like, oh my God, what do we do? We have this idiot coach, Nathaniel Hackett. What do we do? Like, why don't we just get like the most expensive coach that's been super successful? And they bring in Sean Payton, and it's been awesome. Like, it's awesome to have a guy that's like just a super experienced, very respected, amazing play caller. And they got him because they're just like, well, let's pay for it. It doesn't matter. And then the Kroenkes are like, maybe we'll find another diamond in the rough. Maybe we'll this guy's been working for us. And it's just such a different approach.
Walton Penner, we talked about this, reminds me of the Ballmer approach right now.
Yes.
Which is I'll pay for the plane to send the
That's a
fans
good
over
comparison, yeah.
to, and look, that stuff is cool. Regardless, whether you're not your fan of any Go Broncos around here, the Clippers, it's just that approach is cool. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win, by the way. Like having Jokic is more important than a practice facility.
Oh, and the Nuggets have won a championship
It's just
more recently.
But it is. In
what
my
about
mind,
both? Why not both?
It does feel like filling in the margins around, like in a way that makes the organization look good, the city look good.
Yeah.
yeah.
it just feels like a more compelling place to attract people to come. We just had
Everyone can take pride in it.
the Broncos just signed 3 extremely team-friendly deals with guys that were, their contracts were up and looking to get a bump. And there was no back and forth. It wasn't like the Cowboys where they're fighting with their star player right now. Because there's just like, I don't know, I feel like everybody's sort of like getting in on this idea that the Broncos are looking to level up and they're looking to become like a world respected organization.
Yeah.
And the Kroenke organization is like, they're looking to cut the corners, skimp here, there, still get it done. And frankly, like, the Kroenke organization has won championships way more recently than the Broncos.
They're getting some of this right, but this is just not their approach.
It's just not their approach. But it is making me feel like I really hope that at Thanksgiving, like the Penners are clowning the Kroenkes.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, oh, we'd come to your house except for the roof's probably leaking, or whatever. And just
You only have one table.
Yeah, just get them to the point where they're like, they're able to actually shame them. Like for the rest of us, they're allowed to just be the rich guys, be like, shut up, you don't know what it's like to be a billionaire. But when you get out billionaired by your own family,
Right.
it's got to mean something, right?
It's got to mean something. Let's hit a break and continue this discussion.
Now, let me ask all my
In a
rich
second.
friends. Well, at DNVR, we care a lot about the floor of the Nuggets,
Yeah, dude.
We were worried about it last year. We want everyone's interests to be aligned so that just the base level here of this operation can be maintained. We can all
Strong.
keep enjoying the golden era. of
Beautiful
basketball.
foundation.
Floors are important, foundations are important, and just like your favorite team needs a strong foundation and a home court advantage, or even, Eric, a practice arena with a nice floor. Your home needs a home floor advantage. Empire Today can help you do it. The flooring experts, dedicated flooring professionals, they focus on flooring every single day. This is what they do. It's not some of what they do. It is what they do, and making sure that it is a smooth operation, that your questions are answered, and that what you have visualized in the showroom is exactly what it looks like in your living room. Schedule a free in-home estimate today, because some things are just better at home. DNVR listeners can receive a $350 discount when using promo code DNVR. That does sound high, but you did hear it right. A $350 discount with code DNVR. Restrictions apply. Visit EmpireToday/DNVR for full details.
Also, check out Cake Mortgage, especially if you're an employee who doesn't have, and a worker and just a person who doesn't have that traditional W-2 to show your income to lenders. That's where Cake Mortgage comes in. They've got DSCR loans. That's their specialty, debt service coverage ratio, designed for individuals who want to invest in real estate. Maybe you're self-employed and credit-worthy, but you don't have taxable income to show. Maybe you're a real estate investor, content creator, entrepreneur, anyone who wants to scale a rental portfolio without W-2s or tax returns. Hit up Cake Mortgage. Buying an investment property should be straightforward, right? Find a place that cash flows, make your down payment, start collecting checks. It should be easy. Cake Mortgage can help that process be really easy for anybody who fits that category. DSCR loans. If you've ever dreamed about owning income property or building a real estate legacy, call 1-800-EAT-CAKE or head to the link in the description. Life's better with Cake. Cake Mortgage Corp, equal housing lender. NMLS number 1734623, licensed in Colorado by the Division of Real Estate. Terms and conditions apply.
Dreams of a real estate empire. I want dreams of a backyard. I'm starting small.
I was just dreaming about cake.
Yeah.
As far as I go.
Back here on the DNVR Nuggets podcast on a Tuesday. So to get back to this discussion, because I see a lot of people bringing up Matt Ishbia in the comments.
Yeah.
And
We're big fans of his.
we love the guy. Thank God for him. Thank God he's in the league.
Go Sparty.
Yeah. Keep owning the Suns. But he kind of had this approach, but has gone about it the entire wrong way and not in a smart way.
Here's the difference is what we're talking. The Matt Ishbia stuff is on the court spending, where he himself believes himself to be
right. He is trying to do the off the court stuff and be the GM.
He actually has done some pretty amazing things in Phoenix. Like one of the first things he did was get the Suns on essentially the way the Nuggets used to be, which is just on public television.
Right, free TV,
and made it so that you could get an antenna. Like they would provide you with an antenna if you wanted to. Like they made it so that the Suns were visible to everybody.
He also saw how hard Bradley Beal was paying, and he made all the food in the arena much cheaper.
Yeah, dude. But the point being, but it's Matt Ishbia's failings are not by the things that we're talking about. Like he would pony up for a practice facility, or he would pay for these things. The problem is that he also views himself as a GM. And that's the issue. Is that he came in like a cowboy.
He likes how the second apron sounds.
I know. He just wants to wear. He's like an apron. I love to cook.
It sounds fancy.
But to me, what's happening with the Broncos, though, with all these moves that we've talked about, them pouring all this money into the stadium and the surroundings and the practice facility and the field, is the Broncos are turning back into one of the top franchises in the NFL.
Absolutely.
And that's a place where they used to be, I think.
Absolutely.
And they took a bit of a dip.
Yep.
And now they're on the climb back up there. And to me, the Nuggets could have climbed up there when they won the championship.
Yes.
And they had a window, I feel like, to climb into that upper echelon of just recognized franchises around the league. And they didn't do that. But the Broncos, to me, are on their way to reestablishing themselves as one of the premier NFL franchises. And a big reason why is because of ownership and just the image they're putting out to the rest of the league.
There are easy reactions to have to things that ownership does or does not do. And you might be right or wrong along the way, like in your instant emotional reaction. The bottom line is it matters, right? Maybe... And again, it's not, you would like a culmination of all of these things. You don't necessarily need a practice facility and a G League team to win a title. If you own a professional basketball team, you probably should have those things as a matter of pride, as a matter of wanting the very best for your organization and mitigating all of the possibilities. So you can have everything that looks good on paper, but just make sure that free agent that you think you're going to sign takes a look at the facilities and goes, yeah, this seems awesome, right? Just make sure, even if Jokic is the strongest pitch, use this momentum to change the way you're perceived forever, to Harrison's point. And I do think we're still kind of waiting for that. And perhaps we may be waiting until that big fancy real estate project is complete.
Definitely. And there's, it's been said a million times, like ownership. I mean, the organization is really a mirror of its owner, or it really does cascade down from the top. Like, organizations do take on the personality of their highest, most powerful person in charge. And it is weird. Like I have a very different perception of the Denver Broncos over this last season and a half, where it's like, oh wow, like they really are they are just buying their way back into being a prestigious organization. Right. And
you can buy prestige.
You can, and typically speaking, that's what prestige follows money.
Yeah,
those two really are kind of inextricably tied, right? But the Kroenkes have done it in a way that's actually like pretty respectable, like kind of like a scrappy, rough and tumble, came up from the rough streets of being related to the Walmart family.
Right. Tough deal.
But their attention has been so splintered. I think the main point of all of this is like, I really do think that there's a good chance that they are going to feel pressure from their own family to like change the way they're doing stuff, man.
And when we say they, I mean, listen, the Nuggets made it very clear. The very tip top of this organization is Stan Kroenke.
Yep.
So
he's the owner.
In essence, we're talking about Stan here.
Yeah, it is. It's Stan.
Even though it's Josh we talked to.
Executive vice president.
As I've been told via email, it's Stan we're talking about here.
I gotta wonder. I really wonder what that is. Like, I wonder how.
Do you think they are in the same place for Thanksgiving?
All of them? Probably.
Can we bring up the family tree again?
Yeah. I mean, listen, like they
have big houses.
They have big houses, and they're all like doing the best they can to own the city of Denver. Walmart is slowly terraforming the city of Denver into Wally World.
Do we think Josh Kroenke is at the same table as Greg Penner for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I do. I think Rob and Stan probably bro out every now and again.
Just a couple, text messages every now and then.
I think they probably go golfing together and stuff. Wouldn't you think?
Golf outings, yeah.
They probably meet each other in I don't know, Ibiza or something. Like they probably vacation in places that you wouldn't expect.
Check out each
Monte
other's
Carlo.
apocalypse bunkers.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Just to point out some clarification from someone in the chat. He says Stan isn't the owner, it's the wife.
We know that at one point that's how it was on paper. I'm referring to the email that I received from the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah, I just want to point out why that is. She doesn't actually have it's just on paper because there's some weird NFL rule. Yeah, you're allowed to own an NFL team and an NBA team, but only if they're in the same city. So because the Rams are in Los Angeles,
I'll tell you why that is.
Technically, they have to split there.
Is that the Stan Kroenke rule?
No, well, maybe, but I'll tell you why that is because the NFL is like, bro, if you're going to be part of this, you're all in. Like, you're not going to be looking around at all these other teams, even though it's funny that they're able to, circumvent that very easily just by putting a different name on the piece of paper.
Right. Yeah.
And then emailing
Very
us just
easy
And the
rule to get
NFL's
around,
like, oh, we're
apparently.
powerless. What are we supposed to do?
Yeah.
But the NFL wants to make sure like this is your focus, and the NBA doesn't necessarily, they're not, I guess, as hung up on that. But man, come on, like, what's the next holiday? President's Day or
Labor Day?
Labor Day?
Labor Day,
Labor Day
Barbecue?
family
When-
barbecue.
When the family gets together for Juneteenth, like should they
Can I
talk
get-
together?
That's passed.
Oh,
Yeah,
so bad.
good knowledge of the calendar though.
That's in
Related
June.
follow-up question that I'm afraid to say. I'm not afraid to say it because you can assume this. When is Memorial Day? Is it the same time every year?
What? You don't
mean
know when
Labor Day?
Memorial Day is?
Memorial Day
Labor
happened.
Day. Labor Day.
Labor Day's Memorial's the start, and Labor's
I
the
don't.
end.
The calendar
September
isn't
1st?
in my brain.
Me either.
I don't
and I
think-
feel like that's one of those that's a different day all the time.
Yeah,
There's a
it
bunch of
just
holidays that are
doesn't-
a different day all the time.
Labor
Like,
Day is September 1st.
Sometimes I get a
1st.
text from my mom and she's like, "Do you have plans for the whatever day?" And I'm like, "That's how I know."
First
things
Monday of
coming up."
September.
And no, by the way, Mom, I don't.
Yeah, the first Monday of September. Okay, cool. Yeah, like
Barbecue?
but nobody gets together for Labor Day. Labor Day is a day where you're like, oh god damn it.
You're supposed to kick your feet up, right? Is that the whole point?
Well, it is, but it really is just like buckle in. The next train that's a coming is full of seasonal affected depression.
All right. Let's move on and let's go to Nostalgia Corner.
Nostalgia corner, dude. Enough of this looking forward. Let's look backwards, please.
Let's go to Nostalgia Corner. Who we got in a Nostalgia Corner today?
I love this. Just bros talking about Nuggets.
This is
man.
what we do in Nostalgia Corner. I don't even know who we've got.
All right, let's start with one of my all-time faves.
One of Kale's all-time faves.
We already did Wilson Chandler.
Oh, we did? Okay.
Yeah,
It's fine to look at him again, though. There's Wilson Chandler.
Remember I said he was baby neck and I said he changed my
right.
whole life?
A D-line special.
Ty Lawson.
Mother trucking Lawson, man.
Talk about. Well, I'm not going to make that joke. Never mind.
Cakes on the low.
Arguably
I mean,
fastest
like
player in the league when he
Dude.
was in the league.
Ty Lawson. I'll tell you my favorite memories of Ty Lawson.
Okay.
The Ty Lawson Denver Nuggets were one of the fastest teams in the NBA.
Yeah.
They ran and ran and ran. They made coming to Denver an impossible task to come away with a victory because they just ran guys out of the gym. He was, as you say, one of the fastest players. And
Probably the fastest player.
and
in
he
the
had
league
like a
at his
really
peak.
deceptively good 3-point shot. There was like a game where he hit like 8 3-pointers in a row.
Yeah.
But my favorite part about Ty Lawson is he did not mind talking smack. He was caught on TMZ more than one time talking about how he's like, Kobe Bryant was talking to him. He was like, hey, I told Kobe we're going to bust your ass next time we see him because they used to beat the Lakers every time they went up against them. The Ty Lawson
sounds
Nuggets
familiar.
owned
I think
the Kobe Bryant Lakers.
Anytime Ty Lawson was talking at TMZ, he might have had a lot to say.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, he was very, very loquacious.
A little loose at the moment.
Maybe liquacious. It's possible.
Yeah.
Ty Lawson's career was cut very short because I don't know if everybody remembers, but they drafted Emmanuel Mudiay.
It was my first
We've
day
talked
covering
about
the
this.
Nuggets.
They drafted Emmanuel
We've
Mudiay.
talked too much about me.
And then Ty Lawson was seen on the first instance I remember of a player being on live.
Yes, it was pre-going live. Nobody had ever gone live.
People
before.
didn't go live.
Somehow he did.
He figured out a way to go live. I don't know if he went live
This was before going live was a thing.
He invented going
He
live.
did.
He like went live on.
That's a good point. I can't remember anybody else going live.
Yeah, he
before.
went live on like Vine or something. I
No,
don't
it
know. how
wasn't
he
Vine.
did-
It was pre-Vine.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. He went live on something and he was smoking a hookah with his buddies.
Yeah.
And like was like, oh, they're gonna trade me, man. I know they're gonna trade me. And it was like way too intimate.
I'm going to Sacramento, bro.
I'm going to Sacramento, bro. And they didn't end up trading him to Sacramento, did they? Did he end up going to Sacramento? Was that the first place that he went? Maybe he did end up going there.
Yeah, no.
But it was like
Houston. Houston might have been first.
The problem-
he did wind up in Sacramento, but I think Houston was first.
Ty Lawson, before that happened, had not one, not maybe two, maybe three DUIs that cropped up and like kept getting like actually worse and not better. And you heard like rumors coming out of
heard some stories.
organizations that like he would be at practice and maybe he'd been, either from the night before or that day, imbibing a little bit more than he should be. Very sad. And he, again, was one of my favorite players. The other thing I loved about Ty Lawson is that he would go on the radio sometimes with Kaz.
Yeah.
And like, because there were times where he was injured, and he would do
Play-by-play.
play-by-play. He would do a full game with Kaz, and he was so good and so funny and so cool. Like, I loved Ty Lawson.
Yeah, he was such a fun player to watch too, from what I remember. So fast with the ball. He had those really baggy shorts too. Like that was that era.
Yes.
Such a fun player to watch.
And then he ended up in the Chinese Basketball Association,
Yeah.
the CBA. I assume. I don't know what it's called.
It's a CBA.
And he got kicked out of the league because he tweeted the phrase, Chinese girls got cakes on the low.
Cakes on the
low
low.
key or
It's a
something.
matter of public record. So if you're interested.
And the Chinese Basketball Association was so taken aback by this tweet that they kicked him out of the league and also out of the country.
Jeez.
Cakes on the low.
Can't tweet that.
I've made no less than 5,000 cakes on the low jokes ever since that time.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, you're not in the CBA.
I've been around for a lot.
That's why you're not in the CBA.
You do like that one.
It's a great tweet.
All right, who else we got in Nostalgia Corner?
Okay.
Who else we got here?
Oh, Nene. Nene Hilario.
He's the greatest Brazilian hooper of all time. Is that even up for debate?
Brazilian player?
What about Leandro Barbosa?
Or Varejao?
Oh, yeah.
Anderson
wait.
Varejao?
Hang on.
Nene's probably better.
Nene's very good. Nene, it was a really long time before I learned that Nene had a last name. Like a really long time.
It's kind of the like Ronaldo thing. You just go by one name.
Do we know
Oscar Schmidt?
Like
whatever.
that guy, he never played the NBA.
Nene and Leandro Barbosa. Yeah, sure.
So here's a question.
Shout
Do
out
we
Varejao.
know what
Thiago Splitter. Sorry, go ahead.
What is the deal with the Brazilian culture where their last name can be their first name, it can be their only name? Pele, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Nene. There's a lot of guys that have one name that you don't even ever realize they have a second name. It was Nene Hilario, but you would never know that. The back of his jersey said Nene.
Yeah.
What is
It's
that?
an international thing. I mean, in a lot of other sports worldwide, your first name goes on your jersey or your nickname. It's in America, it's just always been only your last name, but in other
I
countries,
swear to God, it's like mostly Brazil. Though.
it is a Brazil thing because you think about the soccer team there.
Do you think that does that mean that they just have a lot of the same last names?
Yes, but I think like the Ronaldo name, that's now like a name that I think just like great soccer players have. You can just like adopt the Ronaldo name. Like Cristiano Ronaldo, his name is longer than that.
Yeah, but he is Portuguese. He is not Brazilian.
I'm thinking of the other Ronaldo. Yeah,
Yeah, there's Ronaldo, who was kind of fat.
and Ronaldinho.
Ronaldinho, who is awesome.
Yeah.
Then again,
Like Ronaldo, the fat Ronaldo is.
Yeah.
I think that's his first name.
okay.
The guy was sick.
Because then there's also Neymar.
Yeah, that's his first name.
Wait, it sounds like you guys have gotten to the bottom of this.
We're just dudes naming dudes.
I'm gonna let you go. No,
We're just bros talking about
But
basketball.
I think you are right that a Brazilian thing is just maybe your first name.
I've never gotten to the bottom of this, and I still don't feel like we have. Here's some other things that I know about Nene is that he married a girl from Denver.
Okay.
I
didn't know
that I used to work out in a gym. I know, no one can envision that now. It's hard to imagine. Get your comments out. I used to go to a gym, and Felipe worked out. Was a private trainer in that gym.
That guy throws some weight around.
And he's still a member.
The Steve Hess gym?
No. This was a gym that was just at the base of the corporation that I worked at. And that was the gym that he worked out of. And Nene, who had been traded to Houston at that point, still would travel back to work out with Felipe all the time because they had such a good relationship.
Yeah, they're both Brazilian.
Both Brazilian.
Yeah. Nene was such a... he was just such a mainstay at center. I'm looking at his basketball reference right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years. 9.5 years as the Nuggets pretty much starting center.
And then he
had cancer and he had a lot of things going on. But he was an absolute stalwart.
If I remember correctly, he was shipped out as part of the deal that brought JaVale McGee to Denver. Correct?
I believe so, yeah.
The Nuggets decided they wanted to get a big, talented guy that had asthma and couldn't play at altitude in JaVale McGee. But they traded Nene, and who else? Were we able to get? Maybe we should have done a little research before. It's just dudes talking about guys.
The Nene McGee trade. Let me see here. Washington Wizards acquired Nene in 3-team trade.
By the way,
it was JaVale McGee and Ronnie Turiaf to Denver.
Who Ronnie Turiaf never played.
Nick Young to the Clippers. Oof. Nene to the Wizards.
Went to the Wizards, but then he ultimately went to Houston after that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Nene was just, that was one of the last holdovers from the Carmelo Anthony.
He was a great player too.
That was one of the last holdovers from the Carmelo Anthony era of the Denver Nuggets was Nene. And I was pretty bummed when we sent him out.
Yeah, but he was a fan favorite, man. People loved him.
Oh yeah, he's beloved in Brazil for sure, man. Big time.
Okay, Nostalgia Corner. Who else we got?
I don't think you do research for Nostalgia Corner, by the way.
All right, have we done Birdman yet?
Who?
Have we done Birdman yet?
No, bring him up.
Bring him up.
Oh, dude,
my guy.
You want to talk about a neck tattoo? Nobody.
I think we talked about him on yesterday's
We just talked about him just briefly, just because we all like Birdman. Free bird on his neck.
Good to look at the whole deal again, though,
dude. Okay, so Chris Anderson.
What a color, man.
Chris Anderson initially drafted by the Nuggets, if I'm not mistaken. Then ended up going to New Orleans.
Do some nostalgia
back when they were the Hornets, yeah.
Back when they were the Hornets. Had a bit of a schmug problem. With
some off the court,
and it was more like of the Hunter Biden variety, if you know what I'm talking about. It was a little bit more. It wasn't quite just
you know what it was. He was the first overall pick in the inaugural NBA Development League draft,
the D League.
He was also the first ever player to be called up from the D League to the NBA, joining the Denver Nuggets in 2001.
From the 14ers.
Yes, correct.
Right.
No, he was selected by the Fayetteville Patriots, but I guess I don't know the rest of it.
So he had a pretty inauspicious beginning to his Nuggets career.
He played at a D2 school or something.
But he came to the Nuggets.
College, yeah.
He came to the Nuggets. He participated in the slam dunk competition. He did a very bad job.
Yeah, arguably the worst performance ever.
I think that the Nuggets collectively have the worst performance.
Yeah, we've had some bad ones
in the slam dunk contest. Will Barton embarrassed himself and us at the same time.
Sure did. What was he doing there, though?
What was he doing there?
And I'm a Will fan.
So he went to the Hornets and then took some time off. Maybe he took some mandated time off.
He was suspended for a year.
Yeah, and they wouldn't even say what it was. Normally they'll be like, well, he had alcohol problems, but this was they wouldn't even mention what the substance was that he was involved in. Tough.
He's just going to go away for a bit.
Yeah. Again, if we found his laptop, it would be Hunter Biden-esque.
Okay, let's move on.
And he
corner.
No, but the point is that when he finally made his way back to the Nuggets, he was born anew.
Yeah.
Birdman absolutely captured the city of Denver, Colorado. He was so theatric. He was such a presence. His blocks were very loud. And again, he had the Birdman thing that he would do. It was one of the first shirts I ever saw for sale on the street. It's one of the things I got really interested in making shirts, because there was people were selling a bunch of Birdman shirts outside of the arena because he was that cool. You could buy feather mohawks that the kids would don. Like it was
right.
Oh,
His hair.
dude, when I was a kid, we would all and went to Nuggets games.
Yeah.
Like it was a thing. Like the whole group of friends would all do their hair up in mohawks
He
to
had
go to the game.
He had that mohawk, which is like something nobody would ever think about doing today. He had that one, and then later in his Nuggets career, he had the slick back look.
Yeah, he went more like OC Choppers later on in his Nuggets career.
Yeah.
But he's kept getting more and more inked as we went along.
Yeah. But it became part of his personality. And you're right. He was like the absolute fan favorite. A lot of people's just favorite guy on the team.
Yes.
And an absolute game changer defensively.
And he came off the bench, if memory serves. He
was
wasn't even a starter.
At most a 20-minute per game player.
Dude, what if Big Val is the new Birdman? Holy cow.
I don't think Big Val is
shut
this,
up. Everyone
is this
shut up.
defensive
He's not
guy
a
that
good-
you're
Shut the
making
hell
him
up.
out.
You don't know what the hell's going on.
No, we do. He's
is
not a good
Birdman-
defender. Yeah, he's not.
You don't know what the hell's going on. What if it's
We do
Deron
know- we
Holmes?
do know that.
Deron
He's
Holmes
not-
could be the new
he's not
Birdman,
that.
no question.
Is Birdman the first like Nugget who his personality transcended his actual on-court ability? Like he was easily
Dude, he was good though. He was
really good, but like he was easily like the fan favorite for years.
Manimal is kind of in that same category. Like,
Manimal's probably a better player.
but but then that ultimately he ended up on the Heat.
He was on like the Heatles team.
He was on the Heatles team. It was super. It sucked to watch it happen.
Yeah,
but
he was kind of.
And again, the reason, like Birdman's story is beset with many tragedies, many wayward stories that went along. As I mentioned, he was the first guy I ever knew that got catfished.
Yeah,
Birdman got like.
Ty Lawson, the original live streamer,
Birdman,
first ever catfish.
First ever cat. Like he was accused by a woman and her daughter of engaging in inappropriate correspondence.
Yeah.
And then it turned out to not be true, but like the damage was done. He was already dismissed from the team.
It's the kind of thing where like if the internet thinks something, like
if
enough people think something, you did it.
Yeah, it was it. And so then he had to retreat to Miami to play with LeBron James and get a championship.
Isn't Manti Te'o on TV now?
Probably. Manti Te'o, yeah.
Good morning football. Just curious.
Chris Anderson lives in my hometown now, and every now and then I'll
does?
just like
We've done all this. We did all this like yesterday.
Bring him over. Bring him on.
I just like every now and then he like dresses like a normal guy now, even though he like still is all tatted up. And it's so funny to see a dude with that many tattoos just in like, but he's also like 7 foot tall, just in like a button down and jeans sitting at a steakhouse. It's so hilarious.
What's crazier to be a guy that's like 6'10", 6'11", and give yourself a 4-inch mohawk, or to be like a lady that's tall and then put on high heels?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question.
Like it seems weird to already be 6'10" and be like, you know what? Not tall enough.
The mohawk was. If somebody came with a mohawk in the NBA today, that'd be so wild. Who would it be?
Who was
It's
the
gonna
last
be
player?
Chet
Who was
Holmgren. It's
the
gonna
last
suck.
player with a mohawk in the NBA? Didn't
It was
Gallo
Gallinari.
have
Yeah.
one?
Gallo would do it all the time, and it was always weird. It never fit him.
Like, I tried to type last mohawk in the NBA. It's just last of the Mohicans.
What if Jokic goes to his brother's barber?
No, I don't think so.
Well, fine.
All right, should we go to Super Chats?
All right, fine, dude.
Yeah, we got a couple of them.
Bros talking about nuggets.
Let's
That's what
hit
we're
Super
doing.
Chats. Mr. Exquisite Nugget.
Vote, I disagree with you on Jamal. Why can't we use someone else aside from him to lead the bench? P.S. I'm at 90 Super Bowl. I'm at 90 SBs right now. And pray for me and my girl.
We're praying.
We're praying for you, brother.
We'll have to see what happens.
Let us know.
I don't know. To answer your question, Cedric, because he's a point guard and they don't really necessarily have that locked up off the bench, and it's what he's done for years. So that's just why I think that. Carrot Hammer, have enjoyed the off-season episodes with you guys. Wow, even this
Carrot
one?
Hammer.
Well, no, he didn't. He wrote that before this episode
You're right. That's
happened.
been up there for a bit. Yeah. Terrence Hall, thank you, Carrot. Thank you, Carrot. Thank you, Carrot Hammer. Sometimes you get reminded the things you're saying.
You know what
out
sucks
loud.
is that we're getting paid to do this.
Yeah, it's great. Well, Terrence Hall, Red Hawk is on my roof right now.
What?
I'm wearing a DNVR Losing Sucks t-shirt. Life is good. Thanks, y'all. That's
Oh my
really
God.
cool. We got to send this to Red
Bro,
Hawk.
you got to be kidding me.
Ask Red Hawk Roofing what they think about Birdman.
Yeah. If they think that his treatment at the end of his
Especially
career
if
was
it's
just.
Brad.
Next summer, Red Hawk should go live from the roofs of our listeners.
Or if they have
We should go live from a roof.
Yes.
While they're working, heck yeah.
Ask them if they have any theories as to what the substance was that got Chris Birdman Anderson kicked out of the league.
All right.
I'm sure they've got theirs. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us today on this episode of the DNVR Nuggets podcast. We've got 3 more episodes coming this week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Bang.
Maybe we'll go back to Nostalgia Corner, potentially.
I'm sure we will.
Keep an eye on the news around the league. Thanks for hanging out with us. Hit that thumbs up button before we get out of here. Takes a second. Just hit it. Just tap it.
What the hell, dude? Again.
Click it.
Yeah, what are you hoarding them? Saving them?
We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.